What's up, folks, and welcome to Indie Ramble. Oh boy, I've been looking forward to making this video for a good while now. So, regulars around this channel know that I am a pinhead, in more ways than one. But I am a huge pinball fanatic. I actually have a pinball machine in my basement. I'm one of those guys. Yeah, exactly. And a while back on this channel, I covered this fantastic pinball game called Demon's Tilt. And it was made largely by two people and was an homage to the absolute classic TurboGrafx 16 / PC Engine game Demon's Crush, or Devil's Crush, I should say. And, well, this is the sequel. So this is XENOTILT, and it is an homage to Alien Crush from that same era, but this has far less in common with that than Demon's Tilt did, in my opinion. This is, it's a rare game that I cover in early access right now, because even though it is in early access, it's not fully content complete, but the core game is fully complete. It's already there, and you can play the whole thing. The developer is patching this practically daily. If you see here, if I go to bring this up, yeah, the patch notes for this are kind of bananas. They're doing a ton of stuff to this on a daily basis, and it's not going to be in early access for very long, which Demon's Tilt wasn't either. So this has a lot more going for it in terms of unique mechanics than Demon's Tilt did. This is the thing, I love real, true, authentic pinball, but I like video pinball because it allows you to do things with pinball that you can't do in a physical machine because of, you know, physics and stuff. And this does so much, and it is such a visual and kinetic feast. It's incredible to me. I've already put several hours into this. I actually made the Billionaires Club in this game, which is amazing. I've been trying to get into the Billionaires Club in Demon's Tilt since it launched, and I have yet to do it. But this one, I've actually managed to, which is I'm really happy about. But I've just been enjoying this an incredible amount, and it's, as you can already see, it's crazy. You know, this game comes with a photosensitivity warning at the beginning, and there is a very good reason for that. So let's try to talk a little bit, rather than just watch me kick a ball around here. Let's try to talk a little bit about what's different in this. So the thing with both of these games is that they don't explain everything to you. They give you some core mechanics that you can get from a quick guide that they have in the main menu. And there's actually another little mechanical explainer that can pop up when you first start a game. One little thing that they probably should fix is that when you click the "Don't Show This Again" button, there doesn't seem to be any way to bring it back. So that might be helpful for some players. But in addition to the regular stuff that you do with pinball of, you know, hitting stuff and watching the numbers go up, this one has some unique mechanics as well. So you're obviously fighting, you know, this series of sort of alien abomination type things, right? And you have multiple layers of flippers on multiple different table tiers, which again, Demon's Tilt already had that. But one of the things that they do differently here is that if you cradle a ball like this for a little bit and nudge downward, you have guns that have ammo that you can earn by playing that are a quick and easy way to take out lower tier enemies on the table. Now you might go, well, the lower tier enemies don't inhibit your momentum in any way, so what is the big deal with needing a separate thing to take those out? Why don't you just take them out through normal play? And you can do that, but the thing with these games is, as you can see in the upper right corner there, there's a multiplier that's going up. And the key to reaching the Billionaires Club in this is that you have to keep that multiplier going as long as you possibly can, because your point values increase the higher you get that. And so you want to keep things in play, and you want to keep hitting these enemies as much as possible. And if you want to ensure that you take out a large number of them quickly so that you don't lose momentum with your multiplier, the guns are a good way to do that. There are also certain other mechanics, like you may have seen that big red ball that was on screen there. If you can use your guns to take that out, you get an overkill bonus, which is another thing you can do, and that requires the guns in order to pull that off. Now, your guns will run out of ammo. The ammo counter is the little orange number there on the left near the scoreboard, if you can see it there. But you earn more ammo by doing various different things. I'm not going to try to spoil it, because the thing with these games is half of half of the journey is discovering how the different mechanics work in that. They're purposely vague with the tutorials because they want you to learn as you go, so I don't really want to give it all away up front. Now, I certainly haven't figured everything out in this yet either. The other thing that's very important with these games over a lot of other pinball games, as is implied by the name, is that you want to tilt in this, like, a lot. Because in traditional pinball, you can tilt the ball once or twice over a certain period to try to nudge it in the directions that you want to go. That's actually called nudging. But if you over nudge a real pinball machine, you will get a tilt, which kills your ball and kills, you know, any momentum you had going in that case. That is not how these games work. They want you to tilt. In fact, they insist upon it. So there is a tilt meter that you can see there in the bottom right. It looks like that little, like, stereo VU meter. And you can tilt out the ball, but you gotta really try. Like, you gotta overdo it if you wanna tilt the ball out. Like, I'm actually trying purposely to do it right now, and you can see how hard it is. So there we go. So I overdid it there. So when I hit the tilt danger, the tilt danger, I'll stop doing it at that point. But you can tilt a lot before you run into a problem here. And one of the key mechanics this is designed around is tilting. You can sort of see here, I'll try to show you. You can see how when you tilt the ball, it gets like almost like an old Windows 3.1 mouse trails kind of thing behind it. They really want you to do that. They want you to use that to your advantage to control the ball's trajectory so that it's going to go where you want it to. They want you to be rough with this machine. You know, that's the thing. And here's another mechanic here. So you have this sort of little matrix here where you can drop balls into, and that is not only how you earn multi-ball, but you get different little benefits from doing that, and they're actually shown here in the perks system in the pause screen. So I'll just let you take a quick look at that here, but depending on where you drop the balls, you can unlock different perks, and those are available for the remainder of your ball. You'll lose some of them when a ball ends, and then alternatively what you can do is when you get 3 in a row or more, you will have the ability to activate multi-ball, and you can have up to 9-ball multi-ball if you can fill that sucker up. I haven't done that yet, but that's possible to do. But when you trigger multi-ball, you will lose those benefits for any slots that you emptied out. But if you have multiple balls in play in this game and you manage to get a high multiplier, there's technically 2 multipliers. There's the one in the upper right, but you'll see right above the score, there's what's called MX. That's another multiplier that you can max out at 99. If you get multi-ball going and you can max out that multiplier, the score will just fly. I actually got yesterday a jackpot that I unlocked with a crazy high multiplier like that gave me 500 million points in one go. It's crazy. The way... And you could do that in Demon's Tilt as well, but more so than that game, the degree to which you can just do crazy score ramps in this is bananas. Like, they really turned that up, and Demon's Tilt is great and fast and frenetic and crazy. This is more. This is that turned up to 11. It's just when you get crazy multi-ball going, it's pure unadulterated visual chaos. And it's great. Like, you just have a huge smile on your face the whole time you're doing it, and it's a blast. Like, a good pinball game is one where you just kind of zone in and you kind of lose all sense of time while you're playing it. You know, if a pinball game is too hard or it's too petty, the game doesn't last long enough for you to really get into that good flow state, right? A good pinball game is one that's challenging, but that allows you to get into a flow state and maintain it long enough that you just get tunnel visioned into it. And you're just sort of feeling everything that's happening, and you just kind of feel like you're in the zone. And that is absolutely what these games do so well. And I've already been, excuse me, I've already been having a blast with this. So there you go. So when you end, you get this detailed results breakdown, which is another thing I always really like. They really talk about everything that you have available there. You have leaderboards, both local, there are global boards, and you can show your position on it. There is one problem, which is that, and I don't think it's something they can fix necessarily, the Steam leaderboard API maxes out at this. So you're going to see some of these scores are probably not legit, but a lot of them definitely are. So you can't see in this leaderboard anyone who's gone above that. But what they've done for that is they have a special billionaires leaderboard, which I guess queries a different server or something. And this shows the full extent of the, like, what in the actual, like, you people are insane. Like, I'm 270th on the billionaires leaderboard. Like, oh my God. Like, I like pinball. I'm decent at pinball. I will never live on the superhuman level of some of those people. Never. You know, but, and now, if there's any criticisms to levy here, it's that, you know, yes, both of these games are only a single table. You know, it's not like a collection where you have multiple different games around different themes or something like that. It's just one table. But so were Alien Crush and Devil's Crush back in the day. And the thing is, they're very large tables. You know, they're technically 3 tables in one. So, and they have so much going on and so many mechanics involved in them that you need to, you know, it takes a long time to get good at these, and you don't get bored with them. A lot of older pinball collections, like from back in the retro era, had multiple tables because they couldn't make the tables super large, and people would kind of get bored quickly if they didn't give them some variety like that. That's not how these are designed. These are designed to be single experiences where you will dig in and spend the time to master them and get good at them, rather than constantly swapping around from table to table. Hey, nothing wrong with those collections of smaller tables. I played the hell out of some Balls of Steel and Epic Pinball and Pro Pinball and stuff back in the day, don't get me wrong. But these are intending to be a different thing. They are fully taking advantage of the visual pinball medium to give a pinball experience that is literally not possible in the real world. And I love that type of pinball. You know, hardcore pinball purists are probably not into this. And if that's your jam, if you're not really if you prefer the more authentic experience, yeah, I get it. I mean, I've got a real machine in my basement. I fully appreciate that too. Some people are not into this crazy, over-the-top, you know, fantasy pinball, I guess, if you want to call it that. And that's cool. And this won't sell you on that. This is very much aimed squarely at the enthusiast of video and fantasy pinball. But as someone who can appreciate both, I adore these. You know, the designer of this game, Wizenwar, actually, his main career was as a toy designer before this. And it shows in the creativity and imagination and the crazy outside-the-box design mentality that powers these games. I think in many ways it takes someone who doesn't design traditional pinball to be able to look at these things that way and go, well, yeah, pinball's awesome, but we can do all these other things with a video game, so why don't we do that? And I think, yeah, Wizenwar has, I think, a very unique talent for this kind of thing. And I've loved these. I'm very happy that they got to make another one, and that Demon's Tilt was successful enough that they were able to make another one in this game. It's so good, and it's so fun, and it's frenetic and crazy and sublime. And much like Demon's Tilt, I will be putting a lot of hours into this, and I have no problem whatsoever recommending it in its early access state, because they support the first game wasn't in early access for super long. They supported it super well, and they're doing the exact same thing here. The game is getting almost daily hot fixes right now, and a lot of it is fixing like very obscure problems that your average player will never encounter. So you can tell that they really have the enthusiast community in mind with this, because they're doing hot fixes for the most obscure little things that only the hardest core of players would have. And I think that's great that they have that amount of reverence and interest in supporting the hardcore community, because yeah, pinball is a niche genre, and that hardcore community is what gets word around, right? You know, there's a million games that come out on Steam every day. There ain't a million pinball games that come out on Steam every day. So you gotta, if they don't want to get drowned, they gotta really, you know, get the word out. And supporting that community is a very smart way to do it. So I think this is already fantastic. You can buy it for less in early access. So if you already see this and are like, yeah, I want to play this, then you could pay a little bit less now to have it in this form. And then get to see it, you know, as it evolves and develops and becomes its final form, which is going to have some additional modes and things like that. But as I said, this core gameplay loop here, this core table design, this is locked. So this is already here. So this is mostly, this is a core complete game as it is. It's just needs some patchwork, and it's going to get some additional bells and whistles put in, but in general, this is the core experience to this is done already. And I still highly recommend Demon's Tilt. You should absolutely, if you don't have either of them and you know you'd like this, get them both. They are absolutely well worth it. Demon's Tilt is available everywhere. I own it on literally everything but PlayStation right now. Just be warned that the online leaderboards don't work on every platform. For example, the Xbox and Windows Store versions don't have online leaderboards. I think the Switch does, but I'm not 100% on that. So I presume this will come to everything else as well once it's out of early access. And it has all the nice little bells and whistles that features that hardcore quality of or hardcore pinball fans would like as well. As you can see, you can really change the visual options of this to make things both easier on yourself or just a little more visually appealing. You can have like a VHS and RGB effects. You can have distortions. There's scan lines in it. You can turn the blooming on and off. I mean, you can see there's a lot of this, right? And you can change the tilt icon, which is, I think, kind of cute. There's actually, wow, there's a lot of these. You can do that. There's other effects here that you can't, that are not in this menu that, let me go back and show you. So if you're someone who wants to actually set up a proper vertical monitor to have the biggest play area in this, there is a Tate mode available that you can turn on. As you can see, landscape orientation, you can flip it. So if you're someone who has like an At Games Legends Ultimate Pinball system, that allows you to hook a computer up to the monitor, you could probably tweak this so that it could run on that, so you get a much more proper pinball experience with it. You can invert the nudging if you want, if you've got control, stuff like that. You can rebind all your keys. You can play this with a keyboard. I prefer it with a controller, but it's totally doable with a keyboard. They're mostly, you know, all the inputs are binary for the most part, so you could definitely do that. And this game is not... this isn't a game you could run on a potato necessarily, but I have a gaming laptop that has, if you put it in eco mode, runs low-end AMD Radeon graphics, and this runs fine on that. I don't have to put it in gaming mode where it turns on its 3060 mobile chip to do that. So you could run this on lower-end hardware for sure, and I did all that with everything cranked at the defaults, right? So you could definitely adjust things that way. And this is the little quick guide I was telling you about that just gives you, like I said, just the basics. You really want to figure out the nuances on your own, but this will give you the basics that you need to know in order to get started with it. But these are great. I love both of these games. I will be playing them long into the future, and if you like pinball and don't just have a general aversion to video pinball, just go get them. You'll love them. They're great fun, and yeah, I'm so glad a sequel to this exists, and I can't wait to see it in its final form. So, yeah, that is XENOTILT Hostile Pinball Action. As I'm recording this, it's out in early access. I may do a video, depending on how much changes, I may do a video when it comes out in full release, but you get the gist of it right now. You know, if you're watching this in the future, check to see if it's on your platform of choice. But it's great pinball. I cannot recommend it enough. This has just been an absolute blast. So thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you liked what you saw here, please do all the normal YouTube things. Those really do help the channel out a great deal. Leave a comment down below. Tell me not only what you think of this, but what's some of your other favorite video pinball stuff, either modern or retro, because a lot of the retro ones are actually out there and you can actually buy them and play them on modern computers. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. I bet I played a lot of them. Some of my favorites were the early DICE 21st Century games like Pinball Fantasies and Pinball Dreams, stuff like that. Epic Pinball, of course, Balls of Steel. series like that. I really love those, but I'd love to hear yours as well. And as always, you can follow me over at twitch.tv/pxabstraction for multiple variety streams a week. I cover other indie games as well as retro stuff there, including a bunch of games that are better suited to streaming than YouTube. We have a fantastic community there, and I would love to see you be a part of it. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. You folks have yourselves a good one. Take her easy. I got a billionaires club to get higher up in.